All right, everybody. Welcome back from the technical difficulties of my end. That was completely on my end. We are in the mixed-up quali. We have 11 minutes remaining. And from looking at this, it looks like Tony Talavitier is atop our leaderboards. And here he is now, purple in Sector 1 as he comes up the hill, Sector 2. A little bit off in Sector 2 as he rounds it, coming down the main straight. So perhaps not to set his best time here. But pardon us for the technical difficulties that we had. Hopefully we are back in action now. It looks like some of these drivers are pulling in to take yet another lap. Everyone seems to be coming in. We got 10 minutes left. Let's check on host Jean Vandergeest. What car is Vandergeest in, Woody?
So Jean Vandergeest is in the Ferrari, driven by René Arnoux and Michele Alboreto. They didn't do very well in the 1984 season, but hopefully he doesn't blow his engine like other Ferraris in real life.
Alrighty then. It's a good looking car, that's for sure. Get a little onboard action with him as he heads into that left-hand section. Then the downhill lefty. And right up the hill to head back into the main straight. This last little turn where you gotta be careful. Done a pretty good job there. And he is not gonna put his best time up, however, as he is yellow in both sectors. But still currently in 5th and is not gonna move up. Looks like Matej Descabler has taken the pole away from Tony at this time, as Tony's coming out for another outlap here. Let's see, we have a newcomer, Ale Mansurov. Yeah, he's on his outlap, so welcome to Ale on that. And Lorenz Van Rojan, is that how you would pronounce Lorenz's name? I'm not sure.
I'm just going to go with that, yep.
Yeah, that works, right? Okay. We also have Santiago Gonzalez is a new driver for this series. He is in the pits currently. Let's see, then some of the regulars. Freddie Hell, let's take a look at Freddie. Had a little bit of a rough go last week in that MRG sponsored vehicle. That's a good looking car. So hopefully you guys can catch up with the broadcast. The link that is on the site is not going to be the link to the continued broadcast, so that will all have to be fixed later.
I think this is actually Freddie Hell's first run out for the MRG guys. There are 4, I believe, in this race. Freddie is having his first round. It was Randy.
Okay, it was Randy last week, right. Freddie did miss out. You're right. I know he's had some incidences where he's crashed out a few times in some of the previous.
Nice looking car, though. Nice looking paint.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. Great paint jobs. These MRG guys always have the good paint jobs. In fact, speaking of that, I don't see a Randy. Let me see if I can find him. He is not here today, is he?
Down the list, we have 22 drivers, but I don't think Randy is one of them, unfortunately.
Nope. So let's take a look at Gilles De Silva. He's always got a nice car, except for the fact that he's pulling into the pits, so let's not have a look. Ben Summers, he's one of your teammates, isn't he, Ben? In your Dr. Pepper team?
Ben Summers, yep. Yep, that's him. Indeed, I would have been driving with him, but he's currently in the Arrows, I believe. Mark Shearer's Arrows BMW. He's currently followed by, how did you pronounce Tony Talvitier?
Yes, and it looks like he has taken pole again. I am jumping to him right now. He is right behind the Dr. Pepper livery. But yeah, Talvitier has taken the pole, with a 55.4. Just some 0.3 ahead of Descabler's time, and he is avoiding that lap, however, right now. So let's see where Matej is. Matej, who's yellow in Sector 1, green in Sector 2, as he's coming up in the last sector, see if he can improve. He is really moving, but I don't think he's going to improve with that yellow sector.
And a nice toe up the main straight.
Yeah, he does for sure have a good run there. So let's see what happens on this lap. they make their way around this epic 76 version of Kyalami.
So this circuit was used for Grand Prix back in the day. This current layout, Grand Prix were down my list, 1967 to 1985, and then they had a little bit of a break, and then moved to the different layout in 92 and 93.
Very nice. He's got a little bit of traffic. He's purple in Sector 1 and green in Sector 2, so this could be the lap that does it. Can he do it? Oh no, just 0.185 away from Talbitier, 55.4, so really well done. Phil Brown, let's jump on with him really quick. He's in the pits. It's not. Jacob Smythe, another one of the MRG team made. He's in that beautiful orange liveried paint job from MRG. He's yellow in the yellow, not going to improve his time. It looks like Santiago Gonzalez has moved himself up. He's just 0.7 off the lead now. So just the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 are all within a second of Talbitier, 55.4. So that's good to see. Let's take a look at Contas Cantasaurus, who's been very competitive. We're going to jump on with him really quick. See where he's at. He's on an outlap. He's also got a nice paint job. As we are under 5 minutes now remaining in quali, so drivers are going to be probably pitting for rubber and putting their last efforts in to get the pole. Cantasaurus is currently in 11th. Jump on board with them. Oh, I see smoke and damage. Oh, we've got some carbon. Things are in the way. It was a yard sale up there. Not quite sure who that was.
Bjorn Hackman.
Oh, Bjorn has put it into the wall there in Sector 2. As Costas is green in Sector 1, but he has a little bit of traffic here. He gets around the traffic as he's coming up the hill.
I think Bjorn's got to be very careful because he did crash out in quali there. We do have a rule with Sim Racing Online that if you can't complete your lap, you can't go out for another one. So he may be penalised by the stewards for going out again.
This is true. As we watch Cantasaurus put himself up into the top 5 with a nice lap. That's his best lap of the day. Just 0.785 off of Talbitier's blistering pace up there. Who else can we have? Carl Stroha. Let's take a look at him. He's in the Marlboro, I believe. That's a McLaren. He's coming into the pits. I'm just trying to get everybody. Ollie Bateson. He's green in Sector 1. About ready to put his best time in. As the server updates with him, he is, I think, coming through that last sector. He's coming up the hill. So this will be his best lap of the day as he's green in both sectors.
So that is the Williams car of, I believe it's Rosberg and Lafitte.
Very nice. Keeps himself in 19th, but it was his best lap of the day. All right, let's get to these leaders here as we are on the last laps, I would believe here. Out lap for Matej, so let's see where Tony is. Tony is on a time lap, but it's not his best. He's yellow in both sectors. He's about a half second off in Sector 1, so this will be the start of his next attempt right here. And he's got a little bit of traffic coming out of the pits, but not a problem at all as he starts a fresh lap. So let's see, Matej should be close to starting his lap now. Yep, Matej is hitting the start finish now. So the two fastest cars are about a half lap apart. So Tony's going to cross the line first, so we will try and catch up with him as Matej makes it through that big turn 1, Sector 1 area. And here comes Tony flying around, and he's off the curve into Sector 3. That's going to cost him. He is already yellow and yellow, so this is not going to be the lap for Tony to improve, although he does have that barely 0.139 lead over Matej. So Tony has enough time for another lap as we are down to 1:33. These are quick laps, so just a minute under a minute per lap now. These guys really putting on a show as Matej is purple in sector 1, green in sector 2. This could do it. He's coming up now. He's going to cross the line. And he takes the pole. Wow, he's got a beautiful lap, a 1:55.2. Some 1.5 over Charles ETA, 0.133 to be exact. So let's see if Tony has anything in the tank. Nope, Tony has parked it. He is done. Not enough time to start a lap. But it looks like Matej is going for more as he is purple in sector 1. Lars Hagerman now currently in 4th. I think he might still be on time. Let's check with Lars really fast. He's just ahead of the... He's an independent as he's coming through there, and he is green in sector 1, currently in 4th. As Matej blistering around trying to finish his lap. Here is Matej crossing. Let's see what he gets. 1:55.267. Actually has enough time for another lap as he crossed before the clock ran out. So anyway, back to Lars. He lost a little time in sector 2 there as he finishes turn 8. As the checkered flag is out, these laps will count. Anybody currently on a lap will count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 drivers out there still to improve as Lars spins it into the pit, so it will not be Lars. Let's check on Ale. I think Ale did not cross in time, I don't think. But we do have Lorenz Van Rogen coming across. Yellow and yellow not going to improve. So he's going to stay where he is, and I believe that's it for the time drivers. So with that said, I think the starting order is set. The Scobbler with that 55.2. And Televite right behind him with a 55.4. So very, very tight up there. You can see the top 5, 6, 7, 8 positions are all within a second of each other. And keep in mind, these guys can change the mixture, right? There's no turbo boost, but there is a mixture they can change.
That's correct. Yeah, they can switch it whenever they like. It's a cockpit control, so I'd imagine that they're running full boost in qualifying with a little bit of a heavier fuel load and soft tires, but they can switch it.
Very nice.
They feel like it.
Very nice. Well, that was pretty exciting quality, and exciting also that we lost connection with the broadcast and had to rejoin everybody. So hopefully everybody's back up to speed and can get in the proper channel for the broadcast. That said, let's take a look at the standings. We have the standings after round 1 in this race, or in this series, the new series. So here we have it. You can see Lars Hagerman is in first place with the 40 points awarded for first. Bjorn, the two brothers, the twins, are first and second right there with Costas Cantatoris in third with 33 points. Vandergeest, our host, is currently in fourth with Fischler in fifth. Matej Escobar in sixth with that brilliant pole run today. Bill Brown in seventh. Ed Jones, Ollie Batson, and Fabio Lozio bringing up the top 10. So there are our standings as it stands today. So some stuff to shoot for as these guys are going to head out and their last little bits of warm up here. We are counting down from 5 minutes. They have a little bit of a time. So this will be a standing start, going on the flag, on the horn, for I believe it's 75 laps of action. Set up the auto cycle here so we can take a look at what kind of tires these guys are starting on, where their positions are relative. So we'll see their tires, their gaps to the leader, and the gap to their next car And then later on, we will try to keep up with the pit stop. So, Woody, are these guys going to make it on tires or fuel? What do you think?
They definitely have to manage their fuel. There are no fuel stops in Grand Prix racing in 1984, so they have to stick with the fuel load that they have, but they can freely change between compounds, and we did see a variance of strategies. Some people starting on softs, some people starting on hards, other people taking mediums, so it can vary, and we'll just have to find out what he starts on.
Yeah, that's going to be key. Oh, we have a little bit of an off there as these guys are winding down the 3-minute mark. This should be a pretty exciting race. I believe it's pretty wide, good areas for overtaking, and just that really sector 2 to 3 area is probably the tightest part of it. Being sector 2 being with the most tight turns, which has the existing part of the track still that we see today. Drivers make their way around.
I mean, it's a big difference from the track from last week. There's a lot of elevation change at Kyalami based compared to Chikarapaguan that we were at 2 weeks ago. But there's still, I don't think there's any turns that are probably below second gear here. So the majority of turns are going to be very, very quick. So whether people are running low downforce and waiting for the straight, because that's possibly the only passing place.
Aha. Very interesting. As we watch Lorenz Van Regen going down the straight here. Those max RPMs. Pretty exciting stuff here. Here, look at that. Get a good look at Talvitie's paint job there. He's got the spreckles, very nice. Freddie Hell. Let's see. We haven't had a look at Nick Westy yet today. He's parked in the pit. Phil Brown, who currently is up there in the points, making his way around. Who else? Gilles is out on track, so now we can take a look at Gilles' paint job. So it looks like Gilles, who is one of our resident painters for Sim Racing Online, he and Tony are sharing the spreckled Liberty Footwear paint job. So as Gilles makes his way through Sector 2 into Sector 3.
Yeah, that McLaren looks like it's done a 24-hour race.
And they're having a little bit of fun there with each other, bouncing, ping-ponging off each other. Yeah, it does look a little bit weathered, doesn't it? Push a little. That's very handsome looking car there.
I think it's fair. This track is very unique as well, because depending where you are on the grid, you're either going to be starting on the crest of a hill, because the main straight it rises and falls. So the front row or the first few rows are going to be starting downhill, and further back you're actually going to be starting possibly uphill. So people have got to remember to hold their brakes.
All right, that's going to do it for warm-up. So I'm going to go through the starting order right here while the session changes. You can see there is your pole sitter, Matej Tetskovaler, Antonio Talvitie in second, Phil Brown in third, Ele Mansurov in fourth. Nice run by him for his first run. Lars Hagerman, Santiago Gonzalez, Costas Cantadores, and Jacob Smythe go 5th through 8th. And Lawrence Van Roog, John Vandergeest, Bjorn Hagerman, Philip Fischler, the rest of the 12. And we've got a few more to go before we get on the line. Nick Westy in 13th, one of our winners from the previous championships. Paulo Rodriguez, Freddie Hell, Mark Heitre in 16th. And then you can see Cara Strohal, Michael Abel, Ollie Bateson, and Ben Sumner's in 20th. Bringing up the rear would be Ed Jones and Gilles De Silva. So there we are. All right, we are about ready to go here as the clock ticks down. They are off and running. Here we go. Somebody stalled at the start. We got a big mix-up at the start. Whoa, hello. Oh, that's the Betsy. What in the world has happened there? We've got cars all over the place. Did I just see what I just saw? What the heck was all that? Somebody didn't get the roll. They just were stopped, and that's going to put Tony Talviti way out. And Lars Hageman in second. Who was it? Was it Costas?
It was definitely further back in the grid, but that's shaking up the field a bit. There's a lot of people that have got to come in for repairs. I don't know whether the admins are going to look at that and think about a restart, but this is going to shake up the order.
What I saw from my view was looking straight on at the pole sitter, and he seemed to not move at all. I don't know if he was waiting for a, Mataj. He's down in 15 now, so there he is. And I believe he's missing a front wing. So perhaps he was hit from behind. Maybe that wasn't the incident, but wow, what a mix-up. There's a lot of cars going through without wings. In fact, Vanderkees now coming into the pits without a wing. So Strohal currently in 7th. Talvitier and Hagerman are just running away with this at this point in time. We've also got Philip Pichler, who big trouble. He's just coasting along. I'm focused on him now. He is currently in 16th, dropping, but I don't know if he's going to make it to the pits or not. So, wow. Here comes Ale and Summers coming right by each other. They're sharing liveries. I believe he told me that they're going to be duplicate cars. So, Ale and Ben are battling there into that top 10. Little bit of action up here. This is High Tree and LaBelle. Is that LaBelle? Nope. High Tree. There's High Tree. Wow. I'm just trying to catch up here with what the heck's going on. It looks like 5th through 7th and 8th have a little bit of a battle going here in this mid-pack, so there is some intense racing on here as we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in the pits, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars are out of this race, including Jacob Smythefield Brown, Costas Cantadores, Santiago Gonzalez, and Bjorn Hagerman, all out of this race after one lap. Holy smokes. Very unfortunate.
So it looks like there were some big winners in that start line accident. Michael LaBelle started down in, just checking the list, it started down in 10th. He's now up to 4th.
Right, focused on him now in that beautiful yellow and white car number 6, Bracket Kings Racing. And Ollie Bateson is right on his tail. So, yeah, this would be an opportunity for some of these guys to get some points. As Summers and Melee or Mansourov at Jones. Here is Jones now battling with Summers, and he does get ahead of Ben, taking over 7th position. So that.
Looking at our list of drivers, just checking the tyres. The top 4 started on mediums. John Vandergeest in 5th. He's the first person to start on hard tyres, but it's a mixture of mediums and hards. No one decided to start on softs.
Very interesting. So Vandergeest, I mean, he had to pit for that wing, and he's back out now in that Ferrari. Back in action, currently in 12th. So he has prepared and come out. Carl Strohal and Ollie Bateson are having a little bit of a duke here for 4th place. Carl currently in 5th as they come up the hill. Let's see what kind of speed Carl has down the straight, if he can stick with Ollie. Seems to be getting away from him a little bit, but nonetheless, very good. As we check with
about 324.
Very nice. Talvitier coming up on some traffic now. Got to get through. He's at a good place to get through it on the straight. He's still stuck behind a little bit. That is the 10th place car of Gilles de Silva. Until VTA looking for a way around. And there he goes. So nicely done. Tony getting through the back markers. That was the 14th place car of Apollo Rodriguez, who he just passed through. We got a little bit of a battle in the back. Well, not really. Those guys are DNF. Never mind. Here's the Strohal and Bateson. About the closest battle on track right now. I can see. Who was that in 8th place? Having a little bit of trouble. Lauren. He just let a back marker through, I believe. That's what that was all about. As Lars is now in the traffic jam. So here is second place Lars Eichmann trying to get through the cars that Tony had recently got through. These guys are in a bit of a gaggle here. Let's see if I can get a. There's a. She lets him through.
Lars Eichmann was our winner last time out, and I did take note of some of the things he said last time out. He was saying about the fuel mixture. He was able to kind of switch it on to qualifying mode up the straight and turn it down to race mode in the corners, just to fiddle with the race fuel mixture strategy.
Interesting. He's trying to make it last. As you see, Ed Jones, Carl Strahal, and Ali Bateson. Bateson just holding on to that 4th place, and Carl is fighting, giving it a shot here. He's closed in a little bit as we jump on board with Carl now. So heading through that Sector 2 area. You hear the tires screaming for mercy. Oh, he's got to his back tire, but this is the left-hander coming up. And Ollie gets the advantage coming down the hill as they headed for the main straight again. Turns 8 and 9. Holding that lead. Let's see if he can stick with him on the straight. He's a lot closer this time. But Bateson seems to pull away. He's got superior straight line speed, so maybe Strohal might have a little bit more wing, I would imagine. So I was able to stay with him and catch him in the turns a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just looking down the list as well. The list hadn't updated. The only there is one driver that is on soft tyres, and that is Ed Jones in 6th. I wonder whether Ed Jones is trying to do something a little bit different to the rest of them.
Yeah, there he is there. He's currently got himself a nice little gap ahead of 7th there. And but 5th and 4th, Ollie, the battle up ahead here could help him, allow him to catch up if these guys keep fighting. Attacking. If I can find that.
Something a bit unique about Kyalami back in the 70s is that the pit entry is right after the last turn. And drivers have got to be very, very aware of what the other car is doing. They've got to pull to the right to signal that they're going into pits. Otherwise, miscommunication and collisions in the next corner might happen, I imagine.
Yeah, and I think that the pit speed is high in there, I believe, too. And there's limits on these cars. This battle for 4th place is getting intense. Carl's looking for the inside. He has a little bit of space there. Bateson doing a brilliant job of defending here as they head through the treacherous section. Oh, I see pieces of parts. These guys have just looked up pieces of parts. Was that perhaps Lauren Van? Yeah, Lauren Van Rogen in the pits. Gills still out there. It's also Freddie Hell is in the pits. So those two guys are stacked up, getting repairs, hopefully to come out and take some more action.
Yeah, these drivers have got to be very careful because these cars rely on being very low to the ground, and if there's debris, signs and posts and things, they run over them. That could possibly damage the underside of the car or rip the front wing off. They're very, very fragile.
Mark Hytree finding himself in third position, sitting on the podium right now. After 11, this will be the start of the 12th lap, I believe, as they come through. So he's another beneficiary of the crazy start. As he is just behind the 16th place car of Fischler, who, wait, 16th? Yeah, he's out there still. It's Nick Westy who's our latest DNF. So meanwhile, this battle here, it looks like Carl had it, and then Ollie takes it right back down that straight line speed. So I believe the straight line speed of Strohal's McLaren, I believe he's in the McLaren, is he not?
So Strohal was in the McLaren, yep. The car ahead, Ollie Bateson's in the Williams, so slightly a horsepower advantage.
That explains.
Or fuel mixture.
Could be. But this guy's from wheel to wheel. He puts a wheel on it, and Ollie saves himself from hitting the wall. That was really tight. Got to get back up to speed. Because here comes Ed Jones right behind him. So I just caught the tail end of that. It looked like a little bit of a tight rub as I see more dust and dirt ahead of these guys there. That was the 5th place car of Jones. No, who was that? Summers. Somebody went out. It was Carl himself. Lost it and has taken himself out of this race. I saw a cloud of dust, and so Strohal, after gaining, spun and hit the wall and destroyed his car, and he is our 7th DNF, I believe. So, wow. What a disastrous start. Meanwhile, Talvitier having to drive through the park here. He's able to get through that start unscathed. So the battle for 4th is now going to be Ed Jones and Ollie Bateson. As we have Matej Descavalier, after repairs made, back out in 15th. Looks like he's got the 10th place car of Michael Lavelle just behind these two. And Freddie Hell as well, right there. So about a lap difference between these cars. You've got 15th, 10th, and 13th all kind of bunched up together there. The
leaders are doing 1 minute range, so they're a bit down on their quali pace, but 1 minute range for the leaders, maybe 101. Down to about 103 for the down to 10th place.
Very good. There is Cody just getting by Gilles de Silva, currently in 8th. As he's putting these guys down yet another lap. Philip Fischler showing some speed as he's making his comeback from repairs. Currently in 16th. About to catch the 11th place car of Paulo Rodriguez. These guys are not racing. It's just, probably just let him through if he's quicker. Here is LaBelle and De Silva. Battle for 8th. Silva, LaBelle looking to the inside into turn 1. It looks like he's got him, and Gilles stayed to the outside. Lives to save another lap, giving up that 8th spot to LaBelle. Meanwhile, Jean Vandergeest, not too far back here after that pit stop, replacing his wing, I believe. He's finds himself in the top 10, 7th place. So, pretty good recovery for John. And we've got another wiped out. Who was that? Was that Gilles? I believe it was Gilles spinning and hitting the wall. I just caught the tail end of it. It looks like he's got all his wings. He did do a 360 and bounced off the wall, but I don't see any physical damage. I think he's okay. As we are just 15 laps into this 75 lap marathon. Good heavens. All right, Gilles. Van Roon gets around him. You're going to stay out. Who else is coming up on him? So that is the 60 play of Fischler trying to get around. Fischler is going to clear Gilles as well. Unlacking himself from that position. So 10th place. You guys are. Last lap was a 120 for Gilles. The last lap for the leader was a 1.142. So as you said, they haven't broke the 1 minute marker yet. But they are still pretty heavy with fuel experience. Just 16 laps into this. Oh, it's a shame that we lost.
Dax Skogler back in 14th. He's 4 laps down, so I don't know how he's going to come back from this, but he is the fastest car on the circuit at this point in time.
He does have a 59.5. He hasn't broken the 1 minute barrier. Good observation there, Woody. He is ripping. Ah, that's unfortunate, but this is a long series. And the World Series still needs to go. There's a complete series after this one series for the end of the year, so there's a lot on the line here. One race is really not going to hurt you if you miss one or if you crash out. There's lots to race for still. I'm trying to see.
We do have a varied number of tracks that we're going to be racing on as well. So our next round in 2 weeks is going to be at Imola, so completely different circuit unless it is the 91 version of Imola. So it's
there was a hideous accident between Paulo Rodriguez and Gilles de Silva. It looked like Rodriguez went right up Gilles' tailpipe and took him out. Both cars are now out of the race. I'm watching now as Paulo is just 3 wheels and no front end and sparking his way out of this race, as well as Gilles. It was a brutal attack. Or was it Gilles? Gilles seems to be rolling. It must have been another car.
Gilles is stopped on circuit along with Paulo Rodriguez. It was at one of the fastest parts of the circuit as well. So I don't know if it was like a miscommunication or did Gilles miss a gear perhaps?
Maybe. You're right. I had clicked on the wrong driver and I thought it was going to Gilles and I went to Matej. So I thought he was still rolling, but yeah, it's on the stream. You'll be able to see the broadcast. It was a huge difference in speed and just plowed into the rear end. So he must have, Gilles might have outbraked himself, tried to save the car, and Paulo just slammed into it. So yeah, that's just another 2 cars out of the race. His nutrition rate continues to grow. Wow. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
13 cars.
Yeah, that's 9 cars out. Good Lord. And are there any battles for position as we speak? It looks like Lauren Van Rogen and Michael Labelle are actually racing for position here. With Labelle in 8th and Van Rogen in 9th. Oh, gets a little twisty there. Van Rogen looks like he's got a good run here, but Labelle shuts the doors. They head down the hill into the Sector 3 exchange. Coming back up the hill now. And they've got the fastest car on track nearby, Matej. So here is the leader, Tony, and he has gotten through some traffic. He's next on his list is the 10th place car, Freddie Hell. But let's get back to this Lavelle battle because these guys have tightened it up pretty good here. Aerial view from the blimp.
Van Rongen, or Van Rongen, I'm going to have to ask him how to pronounce his name. He's currently running the Tolman. I believe this is his first race with us tonight. He did manage to pass Margaret Lavelle, and he is pulling away. He's currently tucked under the rear wing of the Tyrrell of, is that Dax Gobbler that's a couple of laps down from him?
Right, yeah. We're focused on them now. So very quick indeed is Van Rongen.
Actually, it's Philip Pichler that's in front.
Okay. Yeah, Lavelle's behind him. Eighth. It's Mataj crossing the line again. 59.5, still the fastest lap on track. And Rogan's going to look for a way around. He has a lap down. It's the 11th place car. Freddie Hell pulls into the pits. Oh, we've got a little bit of traffic here. 13th, 11th, 8th, and 10th all into turn one together. There's Ale Mansurov. That's Van Rongen. Trying to get through this traffic. Fischler's pace is pretty good. It's making it a little bit hard for Lorenz to get through. Guys are a lap apart from each other, I believe. Fischler 5 laps down. Lorenz 2 laps down, but third place is also a lap down from Tony and Lars. These guys are keeping it together. Oh, Fischler gets a little bit sideways. That's going to let the traffic through. So, no hard road foul for Fischler. He's not going to lose any spots. Just let these guys fight on. So 10th place, Ale Mansurov. With 8th place, Lorenz right behind him. So I don't know, are there any blue flags in this?
That looks like, I think that's Ben Summers coming into the pits.
Yeah,
No,
but he went
would
into
be,
no, that was
that's Mansurov coming.
yeah, and he went in sideways. He's in trouble. He went sideways, but I think he's okay. All right. Meanwhile, third place High Tree having a walk spark here. He's got a huge gap on third place. On fourth place. I guess it's not that huge. Almost 7 seconds, but that's pretty good in Formula One. And then fifth place, Ed Jones and Bateson on the same lap. And who was that just behind him that just spun? Was that Lars? I believe Lars lost it there for a minute. But I think it was him. He kind of lost it in turn 8. Yeah, that lap was a 104, so he had a little bit of trouble there. But not to worry. it only is going to hurt him trying to catch Tony because he's a whole lap ahead of third place Hydra. In fact, the first 7 places are a lap down to the 2 leaders at this point in time. So we've got the 5th place cars coming up on the 11th place car of Ele Venturov, who's now trying to work his way through the spots. 5th place is just behind him. I can't see who that is trying to get around.
That Mansurov is coming into the pits.
Sounds like a speeding penalty. Perhaps he has a drive-through. It would have posted on the leaderboard. I'm not watching those right now, and it looks like it was a drive-through.
Yep.
Yep, good observation, Woody. Meanwhile, Vandergeest in that Liberty Footwear Ferrari doing a nice job maintaining 6th position. Freddie Hell in the pits again. Guys are battling to stay in this thing. As Mansurov currently now in 11th. And that is the 8th place car of Van Drogen ahead of him there. But the pace difference on these.
Currently looking at the gap between Ollie Bates and then 4th and Ed Jones in 5th. There is a tyre offset between those two. Ed Jones is running soft tyres, and I believe that Ollie Bates is in running mediums. But Ollie Bates is still able to pull away. As that Williams has a more horsepower than the Ligier behind, it seems.
Yeah. Focusing on Ed now in that chase. The 2nd place car of Lars Herdman is just closing in on them. To put them yet down another lap. There is Lars. Tony miles ahead. Tony's already gone through turn 1 into turn 2, heading into sector 2. As 2nd place is crossing the line. And we are just about a third of the way through now with 28 laps done, just over a third of the way. So besides the
I did speak to Lars Hagman after the race, and he was talking about his strategy. Kind of gave it all away. He managed to win quite comfortably in the end, although it was a little bit tight near the end of the race. But he did start with around 175 litres of fuel, and he did say that
as he loses it. That was Lars, 2nd place. This is he has just lost the ring.
I cursed him.
Yes, indeed. So this might do something for Hydra. How far back is Hydra? He's a lap down. But Lars is going to have to fix that. And luckily he's in the last throws and turns. If he can keep it off the walls, he can jump right into the pits here. But Hydra is going to have to unlap himself and then get around. So I think Lars has a comfortable enough. Shouldn't take the team too long to get a wing back on there for him, as he's now safely in the pits. And here is your 3rd place car of Hydra. And he is in the back section, coming through sector 2 now. So with any luck, he can unlap himself. Yeah, Lars, that team is still working on it. So he's not out yet. Hydra is now in sector 3, heading up the hill.
So as I said before he had his accident, he talked about he made a few errors with pit strategy. He forgot to inform his pit crew, which does extend the time, and he did get a drive-through for speeding last time out as well. So It wasn't the cleanest of races. It could have been absolutely flawless because he just pulled away from the rest of the field early on. But
Wow.
yeah, he's got second by a margin, but it's not going to be first this time out because Tony is pulling away.
Yeah, and Lars is now dropped down to 60. He is still in the repairs. So Heitre takes over second. Bateson and Jones are in a battle for the podium now as Jones has got to the back end of Ollie.
I think LeBel was pitting behind as well. I think he just replaced the front wing. So LeBel's now down to 10th place.
Hagerman just coming out now. So Hagerman, Lars from 2nd place to 7th place. So he is back out. Tony's in the pits. Our leader's pitting, and he is out. So that was probably a tire change. Heitre, 2nd place.
So Tony back out on mediums. Lars Hagman put on some softs, so he's doing something a bit different in the third way through the race. Very interesting.
Well, this has created a really nice waggle here for the podium. As 3rd, 4th, and 5th are all together here, and we are following. Bateson ahead of that, just ahead, holding on to 3rd, and Vandergeest right in the middle there in 4th place with Ed Jones right behind him. We're on board with Vandergeest now.
Remember, Vandergeest did pit early on, so he's a pit stop ahead of the car in front, I believe.
Right, I think he was repairing damage from that start. Probably set the car up to finish. Oh, and it looks like Bathman gets it wrong on the curve. This is going to allow Vandergeest a nice run down the straight, and it does. Vandergeest takes over 3rd position, and they are all lined up now. So the Ferrari gets it done. That little bit of curve that Ollie caught just cost him enough going up the hills where the momentum difference was enough for Vandergeest to safely get by. So we have a new podium now. Heitre and Vandergeest besides Telvitier. Lars making his way through the field. Lars has already passed Summers now and has found his way into 6th place. About 25 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Jones and Bateson, as Vandergeest is able to get himself a nice little gap there on this battle as he's going to the outside. Bateson on the outside, going to the inside, has the edge as they head into the right-hander. That's going to keep Jones in the proper position to maintain that spot. So it's a great battle here for the podium. Vandergeest leading the way for now.
What this is doing is slowing them down because I'm looking at their lap times. They were around 102, 103. The leader has just put a stunning lap time in 58.4. New tyres, so Tony, as long as he keeps it going, he's got. I'm not going to curse him. I'm not going to say it.
I was going to state that right before that, Freddie Howell in 13 had put up a 59.1, which was currently the fastest lap. Then Tony crossed the line with those new tires. The 58. That's holy smokes. He's flirting with the 57s. This is just, he is so quick. Well, I think at the tail end, we have Freddie Hill's our last remaining car. 13 cars in. There is Freddie. So he's hanging in there.
We do have points paid all the way down to 23rd place, so it is worth hanging it out even if you're several laps down. And I believe with the DNS will still be eligible for points. It's worth still hanging in there.
Right, that's what I'm saying, because it's all about the World Series too. This is the third series of 4, 6 races each. So, you know, you just gotta get your points where you can. Even the DNFs don't hurt you. I mean, they hurt, but at least you're gonna get 1 or 2 points.
Especially when the commentator curses you and you spin. Yeah.
Uh-oh, 7th place car, Ben Summers is in the sand. He has lost his way, and he's trying to get back on track, and he has got himself back underway. I don't see any damage, so I think he's okay.
Yeah, I spoke to Ben after his round. Unfortunately, he did DNF last time out. He was a bit confused about how he got some damage, because he did spin very slowly, and I think either the motor died on him, or he had too much damage to the tyre. But he's doing very well currently in 7th place in the Arrows.
Yeah,
BMW.
he's hanging in there. I mean, that the whole catastrophe, starting with the loss of connection to the broadcast, and then the giant pile-up at the start. It's a survival mode race here. Oh, was that Van Roon? No, that was LA. Or was it Summer? Did he just spin a little bit?
Summers is kept going, so it must be Mansurov if that's.
Yeah, he just went off. He just put a tire off and there was a cloud. So meanwhile, this battle for 4th and 5th, they're spreading out. Vandergeest seems to be gapping Ed Jones and Ollie Bateson. That Ferrari is doing quite well. Gap on these two guys by about 2.5 seconds, I believe, or he's 2.5 seconds back of High Tree at this point in time. So High Tree could be getting ready to play a little defense here.
Yeah, the gap between Ollie Bateson and Ed Jones is going up and down, so I wonder if they're both fiddling with fuel strategy.
Right.
Them gaining certain parts of the circuit. Maybe Ed Jones is running a different aero package to Ollie Bateson.
Right.
These cars are balanced in performance, so there shouldn't really be too much of a difference. But they are still hanging with each other. I imagine, hanging behind under someone's rear wing, you can save a little bit of fuel and maybe push towards the end.
They are on board with Ollie now. Can gain anything down the straight on Jones. So here is the battle for 2nd place. Vandergeest has caught High Tree. So I believe the pace of that Ferrari, looking at their lap times, they're not too far off, except for the fact that High Tree's last lap was a 1:02.7, which allowed the Vandergeest to pull a 1:00.8. So that is the difference that caught him up. So High Tree might have had a mishap. Vandergeest is all over him now. It looks like he's going to get around, and he's on the inside, and High Tree lets Vandergeest through, taking 2nd place. Doesn't look like Mark has anything for him, and he's probably just on a strategy to get himself to the end. I wouldn't be too sure. 38 laps in, so almost halfway.
Yeah, I think John Vandergeest is actually probably a pit stop ahead, but pit stops aren't mandatory, so you can start on the tyres and just continue to go all the way to the end. There's no mandatory pit stops.
High Tree trying to stay in the zip code with him. How they do down the straight, and that Alfa Romero, High Tree, trying to chase down the Ferrari. As you can see, Vandergeest is increasing his gap as he seems to drive away down the main straight.
I was just looking at the top speeds. There's about 40 kph difference between John Vandergeest, who commentates first again. He takes a little bit of
he's going to put High Tree back in the front. So Vandergeest gets it all wrong into going into sector 2, and High Tree takes advantage. What was Sean thinking? Maybe he was trying to adjust his fuel strategy, because apparently he lost lost it there for a minute and just cut right across the grass.
Saying it's about 30 to 40 kph difference between John van der Geest and Mark Hytree. So whether John van der Geest was particularly using most of his boost at this time in the race, because he did pit very early. So
yeah, as you can see now he's getting, and Hytree's pitting. There we go. So van der Geest gets it back, and Hytree comes into the pits. This will be his final stop and only stop till the end here.
I believe Ollie Bateson in third is, according to our timesheets, he's the only one in the top 5 that hasn't pitted yet.
There is Ollie now, hanging on to that. And Lars has made his way up to fourth after that incident. So pretty good comeback here for Lars Hegman. He has an 18.8 in Sector 1. I think that's the fastest Sector 1 time on this very lap right now. So he is on a tear. You can see Hytree pitting has changed the positions immensely. But I had with Lars already in, I think he might be good to in repairs. I'm sure he was set up to finish the race.
Bateson is in and Lars is up to third.
There we go. Okay, so the repair and retire for, I would believe, Hagerman took care of all that. Luckily, losing his wing in the end of Sector 3, so he didn't have to drive a lap without a front wing. Probably saved him as he's found himself back on the podium. And van der Geest not too far ahead as time goes by here. We're under half of the race left. We reached the halfway point moments ago. Oh, 13th place car for Eddie Hell winds himself off. Looks like he's got all his pieces and parts. As the 6th place car for Ollie Bateson gets through. Hytree now in fourth, pitted and ready to go.
We did see a few accidents last time out at Jakarta. And I think there's a lot of runoff here. So I think some of the drivers are getting out of jail free. Are very lucky that they're not taking off front and rear wings. So we're seeing a lot of people that can spin, trip over the grass, and can continue.
And we're going to find at Imola, I think we're going to run into some issues. It's the older Imola, correct? So I can't believe, I don't know which the one that's flat out.
Yeah, so turn 1 is still the older version of the Tamburello chicane. So the 1991 layout has some very, very vicious curbs from what I remember. And these cars do not like curbs, as you can probably see from anyone that happens to come close to them. It just flips the car up a bit. So that's going to be an extra challenge.
Yeah. As Talvitier, now our leader, coming up on the 4th place car of Hytree. He's just gotten around. I believe that's the 9th place car of Matej Desclair. Had that rough start, but he's now in the top 10, Matej. Part of the mayhem at the start.
So it pays to keep going. He's 4 laps down, but he's in the top 10. And he's putting in fast laps at the last lap time, 58.7. Not far off the leader's pace. So.
And Mansurov too, as well as 4 laps down. There's quite a group of 3. 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th down LaBelle are all 4 laps down. And then it jumps to 2 laps down for 6th and 7th and 8th.
Mansurov is in the pits.
Goes. Van der Geest all by himself out there as the 3rd place of Lars. Now, I think there's enough time for Lars to get through this traffic, obviously, and catch Vandergeest, because I think the pace, the lap times, I mean, Hagerman's was a 59.9 his last lap, and Vandergeest was a 101. So 20 laps remaining, or 30 laps, is it 30 laps? Yeah. That's plenty of time. As the blue flag comes out for Hagerman. As he gets through Mansourov.
It's either that Tiro is actually pulling away on the straight, so I wonder if Lars has actually turned his engine down a little bit and he can't actually compete with a car that's several laps down, whether he's saving fuel and still catching John Vandergeest ahead, because they're very, very similar lap times, 30 laps to go.
Yeah, is that Fischler? He's closing in on Fischler that he's trying to get around, and Fischler lets him go. Okay. So he is clear now to Jean Vandergeest. And looking at the track map, there is not going to be some traffic for these guys for a lap or two. As Vandergeest crosses the start finish. Vandergeest is pitting. So it's pitting from second place. This is going to put Lars back in second place. So what a brilliant recovery by Lars after that wing loss. Getting it all wrong. Taking care of it in the pits, and now he's back in second place. Albeit a lap down from Tony, who's now crossing the start finish just behind him. So, second place is in sector 2, and first place is just finishing up halfway through sector 1, so a lap ahead almost. Well, here's High Tree in fourth. If he can get Vandergeest coming out. So Vandergeest, a nice quick pit stop. So that was his second stop then for Vandergeest.
Yeah, so the first one was damage, I believe. I would imagine that he took tyres. Whilst he did that, that must have just been tyres only, so very, very quick. Vandergeest is actually out on hard tyres for the rest of the race.
Wonder if that's experience gained from the first half of the race, seeing how they work. He was on the mediums to start then, right? So.
No, he's started on the hard tyres. I guess he prefers the hard tyres.
Alrighty then.
Pace, he's still doing 101s.
Well, he did.
That time was 1 minute, so.
Did 47 laps on those hards, so.
Playing it safe.
And he's on the podium. Got himself in a little traffic jam right now, though. Got through. So, the battle behind him. Oh! That was Labelle and Ele Mansourov connected again and losing valuable pieces and parts. Labelle, is Labelle back in it? Well,
an overcorrection, but he does look like damaged steering. He might have put into the pits this lap.
yeah, here's pulling in now. And was that Labelle that he was tangled up with? I thought it was, yes.
The car there.
Yes, Labelle's pulling in right behind him, right? That's Scobelaire now in 9th. And that's put Van Rouge and Ben Sumner's in a battle as Sumner's with Lorenz just behind him, almost losing it. Van Rongen, is going to take that spot as he just gets around Sumner and going down the straight. This is battle for position. That is 7th place.
Again, I unsure whether they're actually going to try and go all the way to the end. It's saying they have not hit it, but we can't fully trust the standings. I'm sure I did see one of them come into the pits at one point.
Mansurov is back out, wing on, and he's in 11th. LaBelle back out in 12th. So, compared to where they were, they've only lost, I think, a position each. So, but meanwhile, at the tippy end, we've got Ed Jones closing in on High Tree. About a 5/10 difference on the last 2 laps. Half a second has Ed Jones gained on High Tree. Currently, High Tree's in 4th. See if Butch Jones can close in on him down the straight here.
I'm wondering if it is quite a high air temperature in South Africa today, so the weather has been set quite significantly high for the climate, 51 degrees Celsius for the air temperature. Rather than the track temperature is 51 degrees. Maybe that's why we're seeing a couple of people stopping, and his air temperature 28.9 degrees Celsius.
Surprised we haven't seen anybody in flames yet. As LaBelle had to run back through the pits again. He just came out. He might have had a drive-through. Meanwhile, the battle.
Before our broadcast, I did see a couple of people that had popped their engines, so people were pushing the limits a bit, but we haven't seen any. I'm not going to name any names because I've cursed 2 people so far. So hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, that we don't see anyone exploding any engines.
Here is your leader, Talvitier.
Fastest lap time 57.2. He's going even quicker. He's near. He's 1 second off his qualifying time.
That was Ollie Bateson that he just got through on that epic 57.2 lap. Wow. All right, Jones is challenging. High Tree defending. I don't know if that High Tree has anything for him that Alfa Romero is going to be able to maintain down the straight. Jones seems to have the advantage.
Very different lines coming into that corner.
Look at the speed difference
High
here,
Tree
though.
decides to go very, very wide. I don't know if that's by choice or outbraking himself. See the extra speed that Ed Jones had. Maybe he's turned the engine up, maybe he's going for it, but he's on soft tires.
So let's see if he can make it. There's that 22 laps left.
In previous broadcasts, we've normally referred to Ed Jones as the tyre whisperer. He seems to be he just seems to be able to keep the tyres alive the way the style of driving.
Yeah.
So soft tyres all the way.
It's a brilliant race for Ed this run. I mean, yeah, these guys might have had a little bit of an advantage because of the wreck at the start, but they're showing their worth here. What's happening in 9th and 10th? I thought I saw. No, I didn't. So Tony's making his way through these guys now. This is Ed Jones. So Tony's about to put 4th place down another lap as he gets through that speed. It's just insane. Tony, the flying
this
fin.
is this Tony's first round this series?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he sometimes has work schedule issues.
Yes.
When he does join.
There's another car out.
Have I cursed somebody else? Who is that?
Mataj is out. I don't know who that was. I'm going Fischler. I'm just going down the list now. Oh, it was
Dax Cobbler's out.
And Rajun, and it was Lawrence Van Rogen is also out. Wow. So conversion rate is intense. That's going to move Freddie Hell and Michael LaBelle up. But the Scholar had a pretty good run there coming back. Sad to see him go out. Wow. Here is Ele Mansurov still in it. Got quite a few incidents, but he's still in the race. So Hightree about to lose another spot here, though. So Hightree, Jones got a runner for 5th, and now Bateson is challenging to take 6th away from him. So Hightree could be in survival mode. Maybe trying to make his tires last 20 laps. Because I thought he didn't pit not too long ago.
I remember seeing Hightree pit, but I might be mistaken.
Yeah, I believe we watched him go in. He was up on the 2nd place.
Summers is now pitting from 7th place. Ready down the pits.
Coming out. There he is. So Jones in 4th, clear sailing. Lars in 2nd place, all by himself. Just entering sector 3, and then we have a nice little battle here for 5th. Hightree to the inside goes Bateson and takes that spot away. Hightree falling, but he's still in it.
Now look at my list. Bateson started down in 15th place, so he's going to come up to 5th. I think he did get involved in the start lap melee as well, so this is a hell of a comeback.
Meanwhile, the DNFs are starting to get their laps caught up, or their chasers. Freddie Howell, I think he's going to find himself in a 10th spot here pretty quick. Pichler in a battle with Ele Mansurov. This is for 8th position.
So this is Arrow's BMW versus Tyrrell. I can't remember what engine the Tyrrell has in the back. Is that?
Oh, he's pitting.
Into the pits? Yep.
Yeah, Pichler pitted. All right. Ale finds himself now up into 8th. Nice run. There's Hightree in 6th, Bateson in 5th, just ahead of him. And Tony Talvitier getting through 7th place car of Ben Summers. 7-2, what a lap. Best lap today, set by your leader, Tony Talvitier. And Vanderkee's holding on to 3rd position here. If he can just hang out. 22 laps. No, it's less than that. It's 18, isn't it? Just about. Laps to go after 2, so 16, 17 laps.
I was just looking down the pit stop numbers, and I know they can't always be accurate, but Mansurov has pitted 4 times, apparently, according to the list, and he's 8th place, closely followed by Michael LaBelle, who's pitted 3 times, and Freddie Howell has pitted 3 times. Summers is in the pits again. Is that a drive-through?
Oh, as we're on board here with Vandergeest. The lap traffic behind him. That's the 12th place car of Freddie Hell. Just behind him. See if I can get a better look here. You can't quite see him because of the wing. There he goes. He lets him through. Vandergeest wisely just lets him through. Not in the same battle. Freddie will find himself in 11th position here in about another lap as the DNF car of Lorenz Van Wonderen is out. LaBelle currently in 10th. Fischler in 9th. And Mansurov in 8th after all those pit stops. He is 6 laps down, or he's 5 laps down rather. Fischler's 6 laps down. Then we get to Summers sharing that livery with Mansurov. And Summers is pitting again. He's going through again. He's stopping this time.
This time for an actual pit stop, yeah.
Right, holy smokes. Oh, talk about bad luck. Is that going to allow? No. Ele's a lap behind him, so. Now unlapped himself from Summoners and will be on the same lap as Ben. So Ben can just get out.
I wonder whether he's taking care of some damage because he's in the pits quite a while. But
yeah.
Maybe because you said he's a lap ahead of the Mansurov, about 44 seconds. He's maybe fixing up a few things.
Could be. That would be my guess. And meanwhile, in other news, the Flying Finn, Tony Talvitier, is about to put 3rd place down yet another lap. He's closing in on Jean Vandergeest.
So we spoke to John Vandergeest last round as well, and he I quote, and I hope I'm going to curse him again. He said, took care of the tyres mostly and tried not to spin. Just working on keeping 4th place and bringing it home, and one small spin and a drive-through for speeding. Solid result. So he finished 4th last time out. He's now 3rd. So an improvement from the last round as he's battling with the leader.
Yeah, he's letting him through. But meanwhile, behind them, Freddie Hell has had a hellish day today and had spun just as those two were going through. So as we were watching Tony and John giving away with the blue flag, Freddie Hell got it all wrong in turn 9 and was in the grass, but kept it off the wall, so he's still alive. And as predicted, is in 11th place now. All he's got to do is finish, and he'll have 11. Any other battles going on? Everybody's pretty spread out at this point in time. Talvitier. Let's do an onboard lap here with Talvitier. He's going to come across the start finish. We're in the cockpit with him now. That lap was a 58.6. That late braking, man, really hangs on to that. Puts in it through turn 3 into sector 2 now. Quick shift, keeps his foot in it. He's coming up on Michael LaBelle. Now this is the most technical part of the track here, coming up 7, 8, and 9 here. And now it's wide open to the start finish. Last lap was a 58.6. And that was a 58.3. So well done, Tony, as he gets around LaBelle now.
I think those of us that have been around a little bit in the sim racing community would know this layout of Kyalami. It's quite infamous for being a part of the game Grand Prix Legends. The circuit now, as Rob said, the back half of it is kind of similar to the historic version, but the front half of the circuit's completely changed. And they now still use it for the Kyalami 9 hours endurance racing. They used to use it for the Intercontinental GT Challenge, even Grand Prix motorcycle racing, World Superbikes, and A1 Grand Prix. So it hosts quite a number of different disciplines of racing. And I mean, F1 Grand Prix was racing on this track for, if I can get my maths right, just under 20 years, maybe 18 years. 21 including the new layout, but I believe it was all to do with politics and funding and things, why they haven't really gone back. Maybe the cars are too quick, as evidenced by these cars here, doing the lap times under 1 minute.
Right, as Freddie Hale goes into the pits yet again. We're watching him. Vandergeest hanging on to third. He is coming up on some back markers here. He will be approaching 10th place car of Michael LaBelle and 9th place car of Ben Summers. As we are 10 laps to go, I couldn't believe we have reached this point in time where we only have 10 laps left. Try and edit this broadcast to attach the beginning to where it came in. If you are with us now, there's no link to this site, so you have to find it on your own. How the other one will just die right before the quali. But perhaps I can merge the two together. I don't know if I can do that or not. Vandergeest finding his way through. As he clears his way through Michael LaBelle. And Ollie Bateson coming up on, I believe that's LA. I'm sure. Still in 7th place. Bateson in 4th. No, that's the 9th place car of Ben Summers. My bad, the liveries are the same. So he gets through Summers. So here's Lars Hagerman, our 2nd place car. He's had an interesting day. He's gone all the way down, I think, to 7th or 8th, and then back up to 2nd. Freddie Hale has parked the car. He's retired from this race, so he is the 11th DNF, I believe. You have 10 cars left, so Freddie will be the 12th DNF. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he probably looked at the timesheets and he was 10 laps down, so he probably knows that he probably won't be able to get a number of laps back on the cars in front, so 11th is the best he's going to get.
Yep, he's not going to lose any points. So Lars. Hike Tree in that 5th position, getting good way to the 2nd place car of Lars. So overall, Hike Tree not bad. What position did Hike Tree start? Do you have that on your list?
Hike Tree started in, what's my list? It started in 4th place, so quite high up the order, unless my list is wrong. But
in quality, even, yeah.
Still a good strong run from improvement from last round.
Yes. His car has not caught on fire yet today, so already an improvement. However, there's 6 laps left, so there's still time.
You've cursed him now.
I know. Well, we need some action. There is your leader, Talvitier, who has led all the way from the green flag. Could be a green checkered victory for Talvitier if he can maintain. Holding that fastest lap of the race. And there is Lars Hagerman. Brother Bjorn was caught up in that start mishap. Never got to turn a lap. Place Vandergeest in the Ferrari. What a good show today. He's got 5 laps left. And against Ollie Bateson, 4th place. And there's High Tree in 5th. We got Lars trying to get around the 9th place car of Ben Summers, who has issues, and it looks like, as you mentioned earlier, he has cooked his motor. We are looking at Ben Summers parked on turn 8, and he is a smoking heap of molten metal and has retired. So yet another DNF. Wow. The South African heat is taking its toll on this. Nearly made it to the end. He only had 4 laps.
These cars can be very, very fragile on upshifts and downshifts, so you've got to be very careful with the red line of these cars. Lifting on upshifts and being very careful on hitting the red line on downshifts. Catching a few people out.
Currently in 7th place. That is the leader of PTA, just ahead of him there. Last lap was a 58, so he is no slouch. That is the leader, Tony, that he is just hanging with and actually gaining on him. Albeit he's a few laps down, he is really pushing at the end here. And Talbitier still, his last lap was a 59. You can see that's the difference. So perhaps Tony taking it a little easy here to finish. His times have dropped a little bit. He realizes all he has to do is finish at this point. So Fischler might even get around him. He might even just let him go. As there is a battle, I think Fischler and Ed Jones are not even on the same lap. So Fischler cannot gain any positions with the amount of time left. But he is getting some pretty quick laps in. So that battle for 5th and 6th is High Tree has gotten away from Ed Jones. It's a good stop because High Tree, I guess he was in 5th. Well, what happened to Jones? I thought Jones was ahead of him. But apparently now Jones is in 6th and High Tree is in 5th. And the leaders are coming right up their tailpipes as Talbitier lets Fischler through. He's just got 2 more laps to continue. But we have a little bit of a fight here between Ed Jones and Mark Hightree for that 5th place. Right now,
Been race line. They've been nose to tail for this entire race, I think.
And there's Fischler passing both of them with his super high speed. He must have that baby cranked up. Fischler just putting in some brilliant laps at the end here in 7th. As Jones is looking for a way. And he gets the spot. High Tree gets squeaked by Jones, takes over 5th as Talbitier is starting the last lap. Here, I guess he's halfway through. Second to last lap. There'll be 1 to go when he crosses the line. He's just at the end of Sector 2 now, is the leader. Does High Tree have anything for Jones at the end here?
You wonder whether Ed Jones was just saving fuel for just this final push for the last couple of laps.
Really seems to have come alive. And he's just running away now from High Tree. Okay, Talvitier has started the last lap. The white flag is out. This is one to go for the leader. I believe it's gotten to this point. And Lars Hagerman second place, just now coming up through turn 8. As Tony's coming around for the last time, he's about ready to take the checkered. Here is your winner of round 2 of Series 3, the 84 Formula 1 Championship. Your winner, Tony Talvitier. Fastest lap was set 57.2 and the checkered flag. What a brilliant race by Talvitier. Led start to finish. Never looked back. Got through the carnage. Here comes your second place car, Lars Hagerman, just exiting sector 2 as he comes through that final turns to take the checkered. Brilliant run, really, by Lars, who had that wing issue. He had an early pit stop, and then I believe he did 2 pit stops and still got to second place. So nicely done by Lars Hagerman. And then John van der Giesen, the Ferrari, has already crossed the line. He has done. Bateson coming through in 4th place. 7th place is crossing the line. 5th place, Ed Jones, just behind Bateson here. There is Jones, nicely done. And bringing up is Hightree in 6th. And Pinchler with that high-speed run at the end there, really pushing that car, finishing 7th. A really nicely done race by Philip Pinchler. And Ele Mansurov, who survived a lot of adversity today, and lots of pit stops, finds himself in 8th place, top 10, nicely done. Michael LaBelle in 9th. So, with that said, here are the session results. Your winner, Tony Talvitier. 2nd, Lars Hagerman, John van der Giesen. 3rd, Ali Bateson. And 4th, Ed Jones. 5th place. 6th was Hightree, Philip Fisher. 7th, Ele Mansurov in 8th. Michael LaBelle in 9th. And Ben Summers in 10th, the last. And here are all the DNFs. Holy smokes. Freddie Hell, Ernst Van Rogen, Matej Escobar, Paulo Rodriguez, Gilles de Silva, Carl Strahal, Nick Westy, Jacob Smythe, Phil Brown, Costas Cantazuras, and Santiago Gonzalez, along with Bjorn Hagerman, all did not finish this race after that brutal start. So, yeah, that was tough. It was just sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Today there was no conquerors, only survivors. So any of you that stayed with us, we are going to have to do some editing here to get this broadcast on par with the start. Let's take one more quick look at the schedule here. I'll put that back up. As you can see here, where we are next week, the European Grand Prix. What track is that at, Woody?
The European Grand Prix is at Imola. Imola 1991 layout.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I thought the Italian one might be Imola, but no. All right, cool. Well, that's it for us today. I hope you guys, for myself, Woody, and Liberty's Footwear, thank you for hanging with us, and we hope to see you on the next one. With that said, I will touch base with you in the forums, and we will try and sort out this connection loss deal. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.